Greetings and salutations, all you fine people in the internet. This is Brian from Substance TV, doing a little video today on Kid Icarus Uprising, more specifically, the control options. Now, this has been a sore subject for a lot of gamers, and I've heard quite a bit on the internet about how the controls don't work like they're supposed to. After trying it out for myself at a friend's house, I found that although the controls weren't perfect, there are a lot of options to customize your controls to just the perfect way you'd like them. So we're going to show you those options today, what's available, and you can make the decision for yourself if the game's worth your time. So let's check it out. Alright, so here we are at the main menu of Kid Icarus Uprising. Now, we don't really care about all this other stuff, we're just looking at options. So let's go to that. And we've got your other volume, but controls is what we're looking for here. Alright, so three options: control configuration, reticle camera, and more controls. We're going to go right here to the first one and check it out. So when you get into this, it's going to ask you how do we want to move pit, either with the circle pad on the left, or for you righties, the A, B, X, and Y buttons. I'm a righty, I'm awesome, so we're going to go with the circle pad pro. Now, if we look here at choose how to move the reticle, this is how we want to move the second analog stick. We can either move it by the touchscreen, meaning move your stylus around, or the control pad, or the A, B, X, and Y, which is very similar if you're familiar with some of the Dreamcast first-person shooters that use those face buttons as your second analog stick. If you'll also notice, the screen for the touchscreen is still highlighted and usable even if you have these two other options selected. So let's just say in a pinch you needed to have that touchscreen available, it's still there even when you select those two other options. So we're going to go ahead and go with the default touchscreen. Now, this is where it really gets good. This is one of my favorite parts of it. If you'll notice, you've got all of your attacks and actions listed here over all of the buttons, over L, R, the face, and the D-pad. And if you'll notice here, we can just pick up an attack, pull it over here, and bam, we've switched attack and align camera. So we've got align camera on the left, attack on the right. We can then decide that, well, if we want use powers to come up here, maybe that's over at Y. Maybe we're just more comfortable being over there. Again, you can do everything you want to. If you've messed up and you want to reset it to the default, reset it. Now here's the cool thing. If you want to try this out, you don't have to go back to a mission. You don't have to start a mission up to try it out. Right down here, from the options menu. Boom, just a couple of seconds and we're already able to try out all these control options. So you can go in here and go, okay, you know, I like this, and yeah, this feels good for attack. And again, you're just getting a feel for how everything works and how it feels, which to me is amazing. And say you don't like things here, say maybe something isn't to your liking, we just go back and boom, you're able to mess with all your controls till you're blue in the face, which is completely amazing to me and kind of unusual for Nintendo first-party titles. They're not really known for having that ability, so this is just great. But it doesn't end here, folks. So we'll hit OK, say we like those controls, and let's move down to reticle camera, okay? Now, of course, there are two distinct kinds of battles in this game. There are air battles and land battles, and you've got two distinct control options for your reticle and camera within each. So let's click on air battle here, and if you'll notice, we got pit up on the top screen, and you're able to control them around, flying around, pretty in the sky. Everything's great with Metroids, which is pretty awesome. Alright, so if we look here, we've got our horizontal and vertical reticle speed adjustment, meaning depending on how quick you do it here, notice we're flicking around, it's kind of going slow, or if we really go crazy and just go all over the screen, you can do that. So we'll put that back to the middle. Now down here, this is to adjust how long it takes for the reticle to stop after flicking the stylus. So if we pull it all the way up here, if you look at the stylus here, if we just flick it a little bit, it goes almost all the way across the screen with just that little flick, okay? Or we can go all the way down here and have it just stop on a dime. So notice here, it's just little and it'll stop. Just little and it'll stop. Again, just depends on the kind of precision you want. If you want a little looser, if you want a little tighter, that's what you have those options to do. Now right here, you see this? You can invert your vertical movement, just like your old flight games. If you're an Afterburner fan and you like your controls to be inverted, which I'm kind of partial to it, it depends, you can do that. But look down here, we've got the options to invert both the vertical and the horizontal movement of your second analog stick. So if for some reason you like both your inverted vertical movement and inverted second analog stick movement, you can do it. It's right there available. Or if for some reason, I don't know why, you want your horizontal controls inverted, or you want to screw with your friends, there, you can select invert horizontal. Of course, we'll deselect those. And boom, again, you can go through here, fire, try things out, and see what you like. So we're going to hit OK on this and move on to the next options, which is land battle. Now land battle is a little bit different. It's kind of similar but different as well. So here we've got adjust the vertical reticle speed. So if you notice here, we're not just adjusting the vertical and the horizontal reticle speed in one fell swoop. We're actually able to adjust them differently. So let's just say because of the shorter screen, naturally you want to have faster movement on your vertical, but maybe not so fast horizontally. You can change that. We can pull this back down, have the horizontal speed go slow, and have the vertical speed go super fast. It all just depends on what you want. Now, of course, this is the same as in the other one. You can select how fast you want your reticle to stop after you flicked it. So that way you can, if you kind of want to turn around and do a quick flick to get an idea of what's around, or if you want to just hit it real quick and get to your target, you can do that as well. And like in the air battles, you can select whether you want to invert your vertical or horizontal second analog touchscreen controls, which I think is just phenomenal. So here we'll hit OK here, and we'll go back one more to more controls. So there's even more options after this. So here's the guide arrow, which is the arrow directing you to where you want to go. I've got it on, it's the default setting. Kind of helps if you're confused in some of these parts. Shot homie. This essentially allows you, you still have to target enemies, you still have to hit them, but if you're close or your homing reticle is kind of near an enemy, your shots will curve around to hit the enemy instead of going straight past them. Now, if you're an expert and you want to have it off, you can have it off, and you will have to be dead on to hit the characters, you know, if you're awesome like that. Here, aim assist. This is if you don't want to worry so much about aiming with the second analog or the screen or your buttons, and maybe that's bothering you. Well, you can have it do that on your land battles, so that when you're going through, it'll vertically go right towards your enemies in a land battle. And of course, auto fire. If you're moving along and maybe you're not comfortable always using your attack button because maybe your hands are busy elsewhere, you can have auto fire on, so that the second your reticle goes over an enemy, it just fires automatically. So now you don't have to worry about hitting the button unless maybe you want to hit a big attack, or maybe you want to hit a charge attack. Again, it just makes it customizable to your option. And so of course we go down here to try it, and we can try out these settings right here as we've just seen them, and go and make any adjustments we want to. Come back here and go back to the screen and adjust it like we like to. So that's about it on Kid Icarus Uprising's controls. The one thing that I wish they would have done that they didn't was to allow you to use your Control Pad Pro, the little addition you can add on to your 3DS, to use it as a dual analog like they did with Resident Evil. Essentially, the only thing the Controller Pad Pro does is allow lefties to have an analog control stick instead of using the buttons. Both the left and right analog stick still control the same thing, so a little disappointing they didn't look a little bit forward and do that for you. That being said, along with the already admitted fact, the controls are far from perfect, and I'll be the first to say it. But after going over to my good friend Sean's house and trying it out and looking at it and seeing how the game played, I was absolutely blown away. The fact that you have these customizable options, it made the game 10 times more fun than it ever would have been. So I would recommend, if you've got a friend who's got this game, go over there, try it out, see how you like it. I know Best Buy, I know some GameStops have Kid Icarus on display for you to try it and play it. Go try out and play it, because I haven't seen a lot of people talking about all the options. Most people say the controls suck and they go on from there. If you go out and try it out, I think you're going to find that you enjoyed it maybe a little bit more. And hey, judge for yourself. Maybe you won't enjoy it. Maybe none of these control options will work for you and you go, okay, it's not the game for me. But it'll give you the chance to actually make your own opinion and decide for yourself. So of course, check out us on substancetv.net. That's our main homepage. We've got a lot of great articles about some new movies, new games, some Kickstarter projects, some strategy guides. Got a whole bunch of content that's going up daily. We're talking about multiple content and articles you want to go check out. Of course, give us a subscription, give us some love, and like, rate us, and of course, comment down below. Any of you who played Kid Icarus or who are interested in playing Kid Icarus, if you have any other questions, give us a comment below and tell us what you think of the game. Alright guys, Talk to you later.